Good morning, traders. Manny Cabrera here from MDC Trading Academy. Today's pre-market forecast for Wednesday, June the 22nd. Let's jump to our news items today. As Jerome Powell will be testifying against will be testifying in front of the banking committee in Washington at 9:30. So on the bell. So be careful during that open. Give this guy some time to finish his testification. We don't know what's going to come out of his mouth, and it can definitely affect the market. Now, typically these types of days, the market does one of two things. Either it goes nuts in anticipation and trying to speculate on what he's going to say, or it just goes flat until he's done. So keep your eyes open for either one of those scenarios. Now, let's jump to our analysis here with our daily chart here as usual. 30,000 foot view. As we can see, as I had stated previously, once we reach this new low, we could expect a little bit of consolidation, and that's what we've had. We had 2 days coming off the bottom, and today it looks like we're taking practically everything that we did yesterday back so far. Doesn't mean that that's the end. This is pre-market so far, but that's what it looks like. Here we had a little bit of a gain. Market takes it back. A little bit of gain. Market takes it back. We're going to stay in this kind of chop consolidation funk for a while. The fears of inflation, the fears of higher interest rates is beginning to take an effect on the bottom line and of a lot of companies, and that's why they're pulling back. And you see a lot of money coming out of stocks into safer and more value price investments, out of the techs, out of the high volatility, going back into utilities, going back into high dividend stocks, and of course into precious metals. So that's what we're seeing right here. So volume obviously is high at 1.3. Our ATR is at a whopping 103. So in spite of the fact that we're moving sideways, there is plenty of movement. It's just not a very consistent, easy flowing directional movement, which is what we're looking for, particularly in the market. But in spite of that, there are really good opportunities if you know what you're looking for. Here in Trading Academy, that's what we specialize in. We specialize in making sure that people understand price action and how to take advantage, not necessarily of a type of a market, but more of the moments of the market, those trending movements in the market. We teach our traders how to anticipate those and take advantage of those. Here's another time frame here. The expansion still continues. There's really nothing going on in here. Basically, this is just right in the middle. To me, this market is probably going to be decided probably between these two areas. Somewhere along the line, this is pretty much where we are right now. We can still expand and come back, either go lower and come back, go higher and come back. But that's basically where we are right now. That's why it seems so difficult to trade these kinds of market. We do have a little bit more activity in this pre-market than we did yesterday, so we can expect a little bit more activity. Now let's get closer to our trading. Start to analyze the market a little bit closer. Intraday high of yesterday, intraday low. We have a small little gap. It looks a little bit consequential to me. I don't think the market is going to break all these resistance areas to just jump up there to fill up this huge little gap. But it can happen. Where are we? We're below yesterday's intraday low. After this run here from top to bottom is a 38% retracement. We have a potential resistance area and a potential support here. And this is where the market is moving. Can the market bounce around this area? Absolutely. Will it stay there? No, it's probably going to break somewhere along the line. It's probably giving us a little hint of what it wants to do. I'm pretty certain it's probably a trend line here. We don't speculate about trend lines. We do have a very systematic and objective way to determine these support and resistance areas and these trend lines. But I'm pretty sure that's probably a trend line here. So that's our north-south line here. We do have an ascending triangle. Let me get rid of this fib here for a while so we can make it a bit clearer. Here's our drop, here's our floor, here's our top, and here's a little bit of evidence that the market may want to continue from this area. If that's the case, it's going to hold and probably potentially do something like this until eventually it does break above here, or it's going to break below here. Use this as previous support as resistance and potentially head down to the lower area. So that's where we are there. Make sure you plan your trade and make sure you trade your plan. Have a great session. Take care.